JKB back with another episode. Today on the show I'm reviewing Victor Vran Overkill Edition for the Nintendo Switch. Thanks to the dev for the review copy. Let's start with the obvious fact that this game is heavily inspired by Diablo 3. It's hard to overlook this because the game uses almost every single aspect of design from Diablo 3, and it doesn't even try to pretend it's something otherwise. I've never really talked about the fact that Diablo 3 is one of my favorite all-time games, and the moment I realized that this was almost a one-to-one clone, I couldn't wait to get into it. You'll play as the title character Victor Vran. He's a demon hunter who's on a mission to save a city that's under siege from demons of an unknown origin. Victor's voice is going to be very familiar to anyone who's played The Witcher, because it's the same voice actor, and that's definitely a plus. It's not like the actor was trying to do something new here. The whole time you'll have this feeling like you're playing a Witcher game, and that's because it's kind of cool to hear his voice here, and maybe that's kind of what the devs wanted you to feel as you played this game. The combat system combines RPG elements and reaction-based moves that will let you avoid attacks by roll dodging out of the way. There's also a jump button, which is a little strange to see at first due to the point of view of the camera, and I couldn't tell how far I was jumping at times, but you kind of get used to that quickly. As for the upgrades, you can't directly upgrade Victor. He doesn't really have a character class. You can, however, upgrade his stats by changing out the different weapon classes. There's also consumable items that'll give you a timed boost, and there's spell powers. Each of the weapon classes offer one basic attack and two special attacks, which can be combined for bonuses and cool after effects. Lastly, you'll be able to use destiny cards and hero outfits that will give Victor passive abilities. Overall, the upgrade system felt a little confusing because it didn't have a very good notification system. It didn't really stand out on screen during heavy battles, and I never knew if I had upgraded because the beam of light that crashes down in Diablo 3 is quite obvious, and the beam of light that crashes down here kind of gets lost in the madness. And suddenly there was a very strange beeping sound that I noticed, and it was notifying me that I had upgrade points available. And at first I thought my cell phone was just going completely batshit crazy in the background, and I actually looked at my cell phone to make sure nothing crazy was happening, but that was actually the upgrade system telling me, hey, you've got an upgrade, go use it. So that was very confusing. The world of the game is cut up into huge districts. There's dungeons within all of these districts, and there's a fast travel system in case you don't feel like walking across the whole map to get back to a section from earlier in the game. One of the coolest features is the co-op play. The real problem, though, lies within the camera controls. You'll be able to swing the camera around to see the action from a different angle. The problem is the second player will have to just get used to the camera swinging around, and that can be kind of frustrating when you're focused in on killing a group of enemies and out of the blue the camera is just facing the other way around. So it is kind of difficult to play the co-op if the first player is just controlling the camera and not telling you he's about to switch it around. The story is very bare bones, and there's a lot of bad voice acting in the game, and it is laughable at times, but it does have its own charm, and I wasn't expecting that. And if you're a fan of the band Motorhead, you'll be happy to know that so are the devs, and they've taken some of the Motorhead albums and basically turned them into video game levels, and that's pretty cool, and you even get to use a guitar as a weapon. So this is something that is just this added bonus that you're not expecting to see in a game like this, but the devs go full out Motorhead, and if you're a true fan of the band, there's a lot to see here, and I am just so surprised by this. Overall, it's very easy to kind of overlook a game like this. It's very hard to see it in the eShop because there's hardly any marketing online for it. But I'll say it's a must-play for any fans of Diablo 3. Sure, Diablo 3 is headed to the Switch. It's just a month or two away. But I highly recommend getting this game if you can't wait for the release of Diablo 3. The combat is as addictive as it was in Diablo 3. The dungeon hunting is fun. With a friend, the co-op is awesome to play while you're at school or on the go. Getting new weapons feels good. The world is very detailed, which helps push the gothic tone of the game. I'm going to give it a solid 8 out of 10 and recommend it if you can't wait for Diablo 3. Give co-op a try and go down to the cemetery on Halloween and play this game. If you like what I did in the review here, please subscribe and hit the like button. I'll see you in the next episode of JKB.